Hello, good morning students. Today we'll discuss fossorial adaptations. Fossorial adaptations, they are shown by the underground animals or those which are living subterranean. Basically, fossorial adaptations, they help the individual to get the food. It is for the protection, for mating purposes, for laying the eggs, for giving birth to the young ones, and for avoiding the extreme climate. Underground conditions are having certain challenges like complete darkness, low oxygen level and high carbon dioxide level, high humidity, poor auditory and visual clues. So they have to cope up with all these challenges while living underground. Common examples are caecilians, moles, swinodon, snakes, limbless lizards, earthworm, etc. The modifications shown by the fossorial animals are: firstly, body form. In order to facilitate easy entry and exit, the burrowing animals possess cylindrical, worm-like, fusiform or spindle-shaped body. Head. Head is indistinct from the trunk. It is roughly conical in shape. Reduced neck. It is an obstruction for quick movement required for the fossorial mode of life. Then is the limbs. Limbs are either absent or are adapted for digging and burrowing purposes. Forelimbs are modified for digging purposes, whereas hind limb assist in pushing inside the tunnel. Palms, they are broad and spade-like. Next modification is in the skin. In order to make the skin of fossorial animal conducive for burrowing life, it is covered variously with devices like mucus in the case of annelids, chitin in case of arthropods, scales in amphibians and majority of reptiles, and fur of spine in mammals. Eyes. The eyes of fossorial animal undergo different grades of reduction in order to suit the burrowing mode of life. So the eyes, they are either vestigial or non-functional. Pinna. In burrowing animals, pinna is of no use and it is tremendously reduced in size. It helps to lead unobstructed life inside the burrow. Next is the developed tactile organs. Although these animals have poor vision, but presence of sensory hairs all over the body, especially on nose and tail. For example, 22 appendages ringing nostril of star nose mole. Next is the use of seismic signals by the fossorian animals. Seismic vibrations have been shown to propagate, at least in order to magnitude, better than airborne sound between the burrow. Snakes spend much time closely juxtaposed to the substrate and have been found to possess both auditory and somatosensory root for reception of low frequency ground vibration. Similarly, a fossorian mammal might use either or both roots for detection of the seismic signals. Next is hibernation. Winter sleep is another feature of fossorial animals living beyond the tropics. Hibernation generally includes the entry into diapause, a dormant stage that promotes survival by depressing metabolism and energy utilization when host plants and other food resources are unavailable. In temperate region, insects typically hibernate in a specific life stage. The egg, larva and pupa are more common stages for overwintering than the adult. They seek sites beneath the rocks, logs, barks or the leaf. So fossorial animals, they show certain adaptive characters like tapering head and long snout for digging, either reduced or vestigial tail, well-developed claws, strong tactile organ, eyes, pinnas reduced or incisors, they are modified, strong and elongated in naked mole, rat for digging. Incisors, they are also modified in pocket gopher. Canines of swine are modified for digging in wild boars. So earthworm, they are very important example of fossorial adaptation. Basically, earthworm prefer three important stages. That is, they are either apigic or endogic or anikic. Apigic individuals, they prefer to live below the litter. They feed on litter. They are small sized individuals and they don't have any burrows. Example, Dendrobina. Endogic, they live in rich soil. They feed on this and they make horizontal burrows. Example, Allophorum. Anikic, they live in vertical burrows. They are litter and soil feeders. An example is Lumbricus. So in the case of Typhlops, you see the presence of the reduced eyes, strong short legs and pointed snout in case of the armadillos, they are present, and the snakes, they show hibernation. Coming to few examples. First example is aardvark. Each toe bear a large robust nail, flattened and shovel-like. Long thin snake-like protruding tongue, feeding on the termites and ants. Strong powerful legs and compact claws. Look at the claws of aardvark in the picture. Emerges from the burrow only in the late afternoon. Next example is mole. Small cylindrical mammal adapted to subterranean lifestyle. Velvety fur, tiny invisible ear, small eyes, reduced hind limbs, short powerful forelimbs with large paws oriented for digging. Ears are generally not visible. Another example is star-nosed mole with 22 appendages. Next is prairie dogs. They are burrowing rodents native to grasslands of North America. They have strong front teeth and sharp claws for digging. The front paws have long claws for digging tunnels. They eat lot and store the food for the winter. They don't drink water and can get all the water needed from the leafy food which they eat. Now look at the network of tunnels digged by the prairie dogs. So they have got different chambers, some for rearing the young ones, some for storing, some for littering, some for escape in the case the predator it comes. Next individual is armadillo. They have short legs but can move quite quickly and have ability to remain underwater for at least 6 minutes. Because of the density of its armor, armadillo will sink in the water unless it flattens its stomach and intestine with air, which often doubles its size and allows it to swim. They use their claws for digging and finding food as well as for making their homes in the burrow. They have 5 clawed toes on the hind feet. Look at the thick pointed claws in the pic, and 3 to 5 toes with heavy digging claws on the 4 feet. Now coming to the significance of the fossorial adaptation. Living underground has many advantages, including protection from the predator, from extreme temperature, both hot and cold, and from overlying dry climate. Many animals also hunt for food underground, like tubers, roots, other plant material, worms, grubs, insects, insect eggs, as well as the larvae. Some animals like moles and earthworms spend their entire life underground. Others like prairie dog spend sometimes below ground and sometimes above ground. Whereas some animals, they spend a portion of their life cycle underground, for example, the insect larvae. So I'm highly thankful to www.google.com for providing us beautiful pics so that we can explain our topic well. Thank you.